Good evening, everybody. Dead Man Walking 55 coming to you live at what is about 4 minutes after 8 on the East Coast of the U.S. on a Saturday, June 14th. Thank y'all for being here. Very impromptu stream tonight because I don't know. I just didn't want to keep sitting around doing nothing. And watching college baseball is like watching paint dry unless you have a team with a vested interest. LSU and Arkansas are playing. LSU's up 3-0 early in that game. But hey, tonight we have no script, no plan, no anything, just ourselves here. So folks in the chat, we can talk hockey, we can talk whatever else. Feel free to pop out ideas because tonight will be a squirrel stream like it was truly intended. We have nothing planned, and we truly will be jumping tree to tree, nut to nut. And speaking of that, let me bring in my great co-host who is the man responsible for protecting everyone's nuts. It's the great Wes Kagle. Hey, Wes.
What's going on tonight?
I don't know. I mean, hey, we just got through with a big belly washer thunderstorm. I'm waiting on dinner to be delivered, so you might hear Aang in a minute. But hey, how's your weekend been so far?
Been good. Playing too much Fortnite, so it's good. It's good to be doing something else at some point.
It will catch you, and it will catch up with you at some point. You will hit that spot when you're like, I cannot ever play friggin' solos anymore. I tell you, I burned out in 2020. I was at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning every day. Yeah, I had nobody I was playing with then, just doing our solos. And then, see, to this day, I can't play solo by myself unless I go in for 1 or 2 quests specifically.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I solo is when I'm streaming because I got people around me. And
oh, you're right. Yeah.
You know, at least I'm talking to somebody or something like that instead of myself. So that's kind of what happens when I solo these days. But you know, you and Fallout Dave got to playing quite a bit, didn't y'all?
Yeah, we did play some. Yeah, we got some duo action going for a while there.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time me and him did the duo. It was extremely helpful because on this new map, he pointed out a good location to drop in on and to run to from there immediately to get some decent weaponry to because once you drop in, it's a mad dash right away to try to grab some kind of decent weapon. I mean, you can grab any old weapon, but if you get a decent weapon right in the beginning, you got a good shot of getting down into the into the 25 and 25 club. So
it's almost like the Hunger Games, the opening scene for Hunger Games when they blow the whistle and then or fire the shot and then like everybody's sprinting right for the weapons.
Oh yeah.
Although sometimes
you got to do, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes we have to do the other thing, like in the movie, the smart ones went off into the woods.
Yeah. No, that's I got to look where that's something I learned from you. I look where the bus line is going, and if it goes directly over that spot that Dave told me about, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going there this time because everybody's dropping in on it. I don't.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yep. Absolutely.
But it was funny. Hank Hill dropped in the game. And
Bobby, propane is natural. Oh, Bobby.
I just had to have Hank Hill. I had to have him, and he came with the emote where they're all standing in the alley drinking the beer.
You didn't like Cleveland? Yeah, I didn't like Cleveland and that voice like that.
Well, Cleveland's all right, but I had to get the emote of them standing in the alley drinking it because 4 people can join in on that. Well, I was playing in the room, not in the lobby, not in the bus, in between where you're just kind of hanging around. I'm standing there and I'm waiting, and I'm Princess Bubblegum still, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I turn around, there's Hank Hill behind me. I'm like, whoa. I hit the emote and I start drinking the beer and the music's playing. He comes running over and starts drinking a beer with me.
Was that during the match?
No. It was
in the lobby. Yeah, that's too funny.
It was hysterical. It was surreal to watch Princess Bubblegum drinking a beer with Hank Hill.
I actually had people before emote with me in a game. I actually had one guy jump in the car with me and go around and stuff. But I'm like, finally, when we got to the top 10, I'm like, nah, I let him kill me because it's like we shouldn't be doing it. And it wasn't me doing it. It was like he wouldn't
get out of the car.
He wouldn't tag. He was like, it was like tagging along, and I didn't want him to tag along. But
I have to say this. I've noticed this. This seems, and I don't know. All of a sudden, over the last couple of days, this seems to be a new tactic that Dave's sweaties have decided to employ. If I'm driving a car, they manage to get on it and then they jump in, like you
Yeah.
said,
Yep.
and they sit there and then they lean out and they start shooting the
Yeah.
car till it
Yep.
blows up. And they jump out the last second. I blow up, I take damage, and then they blast me. I'm like,
I lost my shield and like half my health today in one explosion of a car. I was like, how the hell does that happen? Damn it.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
If you stay in the car when it blows up, you lose a bunch of stuff.
I was like, damn. I mean, I expected some damage, but geez, that was ridiculous.
Yep.
So, well, let's say hello to Wes Kagle. We actually got 4 people watching. We're only on the YouTube side tonight, so make sure you like. We're back up to 711 subs, so yay, keep subbing. And of course, the great Legatus Legionize is here. Hey, Legatus, great to see you tonight. And me and somebody else is lurking out there. Thank you, whoever you are. We love if you say hi, but if you're not, okay, you're here. Thank you. Completely random streaming tonight, and let's see who comes in as the night goes along. I know that people are not used to me at this time of day, so I'm tweeting the hell out of Twitter to the point where it will ban me. Did you know that sometimes, see, it did it right here on Twitter. I did the share from the YouTube for like the second time, and it's like, post not sent. We're sorry, we weren't able to send your post. Would you like to retry or save the post? No, I'd like you to resend the damn tweet that I did from you, bastards. I can go to drafts, retry. Okay, what's the point of retry? Hit retry, and we're sorry, we weren't able to send your post. Yeah, no, screw you. It's because you don't want me to promote my stuff on YouTube, you bastard.
Yeah,
I don't.
They're jealous.
And I tell you what, I don't like the idea, at least for what I'm doing, I don't like the idea of streaming on X because, I mean, it's such a bigger, I mean, I got 855 people follow me on that, but I think it opens up to even more of an audience that may not be your target audience. That, for somebody small like me, I guess I could if I wanted to, but I mean, one platform at a time is enough. Like tonight, we're only on the YouTube. What do you think? Are you watching any of the streams on YouTube these days?
Yeah,
I mean, not YouTube, on X. When people stream X, yeah.
People will simulcast, so they'll be on YouTube and they'll also cast it over on X. And I'll stop by X and maybe say hello from X, so they get some interaction there. But I don't usually stay on X. I don't like the interaction on X as much.
What is it like? I mean, do you get to chat to other people like on YouTube or not?
Yeah, well, there is if I remember, I haven't done it too often, but I think there is a chat, and I've chatted there. The thing is though, if you when you show up, it's like it can be on Rumble. It's initialized, and so you see nothing that's been said before. And if you leave and come back, you see nothing again. It's initialized again, so you don't, if you're not there the entire time, you don't know what the conversation in the chat on X has been doing. They need to work on their live streaming as far as the chat goes.
Gotcha. See, I haven't even looked. See, I don't even go over to Rumble. I mean, I'm like, I just like I don't need one more social media platform, whatever, to either turn into as a viewer or to broadcast from. I like Twitch. Now, a lot of people have problems with Twitch, but I've actually liked Twitch. Twitch was actually fairly easy for me to learn and do. It was also quicker and easier for both of us to get monetized. Not that I'm monetized there, but it was so quick and easy. You only need like 50 followers, and then you can monetize. I mean, it's a lot different than YouTube, and you got little cheer bits, you got other emote type things you can do to get money, and as well as the subscriptions. And it's like, I don't understand why I do understand what it gets a lot of the crap it gets, is because a lot of the YouTube snobs have always looked down their nose because of this pool streamers, which, all the, they're sitting in the pools and the bikinis and all this TNA show,
Oh, yeah.
But I tell you what I noticed over time, what happens on Twitch ends up making its way to YouTube. Because I noticed over the years, many, many more females started being more boosomful in their shows. Now,
Right.
they started showing stuff. I don't know if you've noticed that trend yourself, but over the years, they started with cameras and stuff. You would see more of the perky boobs brought up and stuff like that. And and the line started getting blurred. And another thing that's happened is the whole thing about monetization and stuff. These donating channel memberships was something that was Twitch exclusive. Now YouTube started getting to that, where you can gift memberships and stuff. That's why I say a lot of problems. A lot of people on YouTube always bash Twitch, but it's like, hey guys, you do the same things they do, and you end up following a lot of the trends that they've set up.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It seems that the that sort of that sort of, I don't like to disparage anybody for what they do. It's fine.
No.
You do what you want to do. But that sort of streaming, it ends up migrating to other things, and it usually originates on less on I don't know how to say this. Places like Twitch, where it's more of a gaming platform,
right?
Because I guess it's easier to just to play a game and stream with a camera at a high angle down at you. You know what I'm saying? So as opposed to YouTube, where it's more. Twitch is basically a gaming thing. So
yeah, that's what a lot of people. That's like my kid got over 1,600 followers. It's like, damn, how do you do that and stuff? But and it's like I said, it's not people do the streams they want to do, and that's fine. We're adults, whatever, and stuff like that. Where I'm coming from with my criticism about the YouTube side with the YouTube streamers, because for many years they were very judgmental of what happened on Twitch. With the hot tub streams and stuff like that. And now I'm seeing similar stuff, if not very close to similar stuff on the YouTube channels as much as, I mean, it's like, the whole thing is you criticize that guy, but then you start doing it, same thing for money. That's where I lose the intellectual honesty between the two,
Oh yeah, no. I
from that standpoint. And now Rumble, are you on Rumble? Do you watch on Rumble?
Yeah, I will often. There are one or two people who I watch on YouTube who will cross stream. It was simulcast. And
don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams. That a kid being a kid from the '70s, that comes to it's a whole different meaning, because it was before Ghostbusters. It was when we're all in the woods peeing together, and it's like, cross the streams.
Yeah. Don't cross the streams.
Yeah, young boys are vulgar. So
no, well, but that's part of growing up,
it
how
is.
that goes.
And this comes from someone who was once a young boy. So.
Exactly. Yes, we look back with fond memories. Let's see.
Yeah.
Well, we got our two. We still got you, me, and Legatus, I think. Hey, we're having fun tonight, talking about whatever topics, and hopefully, people come in, and if not, then hey, we're gonna have fun with this tonight. We just my dinner's waiting to be delivered any moment, so I'm you might have to carry me longer. But like I said, Legatus, if you're or anybody else, if you're lurking, if you have stuff, throw out topics out there. We may take them up. This is a good like an open type night. Not that we will touch certain topics, but just. With this, I just asked Wes, do you want to? It's like the old Hungry Boys, like, hey Wes, you want to stream? Sure, yeah, let's do it now. And so we're live, truly, with no plan on a Saturday night. So, so we talked about those things there. So, Rumble. Do you find Rumble easy to use or harder to use? Because, like I said, I've only viewed it, but I was not able to comment since I don't have an account.
Yeah, I have an account. And like I said, I've actually been on a stream on Rumble. Rancor Steve does his Lego building, and he always, if he casts on YouTube, but he doesn't even use StreamYards when he streams, because Rumble has its own streaming thing built right in, and it's easier to do it that way. It's not as It's maybe just because I'm not used to it, but it's not, to me, it's not as good as StreamYard. But so he streams from Rumble directly, and
Right.
so it's easy enough to use. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not a problem.
See, my thing is, I just can't stand learning one more platform. It's like it's hard enough to. I mean, like why one more? You know, I mean, StreamYards was so easy, and Mrs. has actually tried to look into other options to save us some money.
Mhm.
At least with her monetized now, it's helping. You know, that's helping defray the cost, but. She wasn't happy with all the options out there that people talked about
Yep.
for various reasons. So we did try to look at um, various options, but of course, I let her make the decision with it because she streams more than I, and her streams are more important. I mean, not that this is not an important stream, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
She's got to have it to do certain things with lighting, with things like that, technical things. She can do more graphics and all that type of stuff is what's more important for her. So she got the primary decision on that.
Right.
Um,
No, StreamYard is, and I think a lot of, and don't get me wrong, it's better. It is better, but it's just like you said, with the YouTube thing. It's the older of the, that's like StreamYards is the thing that everybody started with. So that's what everybody's used to. It's what everybody likes. It's what everybody's familiar with.
mhm.
So even if there's another one that's comparable, it's on the same level. Could be on the same level. People are reluctant to move over to it or even embrace it because it's not what they're used to.
Right.
It's got to
Right.
be significantly better. It's got to be significantly better to draw away from the OG one. That's why Rumbles doesn't have as many people streaming over there from the community as they do on YouTube. So
Go ahead and carry me a little bit
yeah, no,
for
no
just a
problem, no
second.
problem. Yep. But yeah, so I don't have a problem with Rumble. Like I said, one of its benefits is that it's got the built-in streaming option. You can stream right from Rumble, but it's not quite the same. It doesn't have the same layout. It doesn't have the same features. It doesn't have the same format as StreamYard. So it's a little bit different. Again, like I said, um, Rancor Steve, he streams directly from Rumble, and it works for him. One of the things that I notice is I do hear some once in a while, and I don't know why this is. He'll have a panel of 4 people on, but I'll hear 5 voices. Somebody's not. I don't see them on the picture. I don't know if maybe that's a thing. You can only have so many people, their icons being present when he's doing it on Rumble. But I always find it weird. I'm like, I hear somebody talking, but nobody's, because nobody has icons. They're all using their camera, and I can't see anybody talking, but I hear somebody talking. So somebody's talking off screen, and so it's really weird. So I'm not fully understanding the all of how the streaming on Rumble works. If I were to do it, then maybe that's the only way I learn. And you could explain to me all day long. I actually have to do things to learn how they function. If I don't, you can explain it. 5 ways from Sunday, I'll never get it. If you explain to me and then say, "Here you go, now you try it," I'll bumble through it through the first time because I need to actually physically do something. So, but yeah,
Yeah, that's really really a way to learn how to do anything
mhm,
because like at work, it's so funny that what they did. My coworkers, especially the younger people,
mhm,
it's like you teach us how to do our job, teach us how to do our job, and I'm like, you got to learn how to do it. You know,
yeah,
one day I told a guy, I wanted to say to him, he's like, "Get your job," because I get mad with him. He'd been there a couple of years, and it was the same basic stuff. He's like, "Well, it's your job to teach me how to do my job." I wanted to say, "Yeah, but I can't teach you how to think."
yeah,
And
yep,
the thing is, like, we had a big staff meeting, and I'm telling the younger people, we can't train you the way you guys think we should be training you. It's experience. It's
mhm,
getting it wrong. It's thinking, analyzing, following the programs, and learning by what the feedback from up above. that you didn't do it right, you need a better document or whatever. But instead, everybody wants to take everything personally, and then everybody gets pissed off because, well, you're being nitpicky. No, I'm not, because when stuff hits the newspaper and it ain't right, or some gets sent to court and it ain't right, what are you going to rely on? You know?
Yep. I'm very visual person. I'm a very visual person, and the way I learn by two-way doing, and I have to, and it's even better if I watch you for a little while. That's why I knew what to do a lot of things on Fortnite, because I was watching you guys on your streams. I'm like, okay, he runs like that. That's how he you do the running and then the jumping and sliding. I'm like, that's how you extend your speed. It's things like that. I watch and I learn, and then I try. If I
and you fail, but then again, you learn for the next time.
Yep. But I have to actually try. It's the same thing with I get a new video game. I could have somebody try to explain it to me, or I could even try to read the rule book, the instruction booklet. I never read any of them because I never absorbed. I actually just threw the instruction booklet away and just started playing the game. I'm like, I'll figure it out.
See, that's how we like to teach people Fortnite. We just want to start playing the game.
Yeah.
And, try to do it where they're not over their head. We'll slow down with them and for them so they can learn the controls. The biggest thing is learning the controls.
Yeah.
But it just, trial and error does so much stuff these days. And but it was like I said, that I'm glad you said it that way, because, not everybody takes that way. Everybody wants to be hand fed and make it easy on me. And it's like, you learn, on the job training, I had a coworker that said when he worked in the private sector, it's like they handed him a book and said, hey, I'm like, good luck, go figure out your job.
Yeah, well, that's the extreme. That's not good, though.
No, I know that's not good, but it's but it happens. It's probably more often than not.
Yep.
So, well, speaking of more often than not, we got a 2-2 tie in the Stanley Cup Finals between the Panthers and the Oilers. This game,
you mean the Devils or the Flyers aren't playing? I'm not interested.
I know. I'm not. I know. Pissed me off too. I'm only hoping the Canadians take the cup back north where it belongs. But I think they're playing in Edmonton tonight. They're playing in Edmonton tonight, Game 5. They're knotted up at 2. Panthers had a big 3-0 lead the other night, and then Edmonton made a big rally to come back to win to tie the series up at 2-2. Just a huge comeback there. Have you been able to watch any of the hockey, or like you said, when the Philly was gone?
The Flyers, if the Flyers midway through the season, if the Flyers are floundering, I'm not even watching the rest. I'm not even paying attention anymore.
I understand that's how I am with the Devils. I tried to watch them a little bit more this year, and I did watch some, but between get busy with other sports life, and then they lost their best player, so they really sucked near the end of the season. It kind of like, okay, move on, do something else.
Yep. No, that's true. It's all the sports now, but of the 4 major ones in basketball, hockey, and baseball, if the Phillies, Flyers, or the Sixers weren't doing well, I wasn't paying attention at all. The NFL was the only league that, even if the Eagles were in the toilet that season, I still was going to watch. I'm not even watching then now, because the NFL is not really watchable like it used to be. So, but it's just me. I mean, if you're still, you're a rabid fan of a sport, God bless you. I love it.
Yep.
It's great.
Actually, I found somebody that actually was following the NBA Finals.
Okay.
Somebody completely, our friend Anna.
Oh, really?
Following the friggin' NBA Finals, and I'm like, what the hell? I'd like you to talk European football, because JT and I are trying to do some more sports. And JT's like, Dad, man, you just will not get the European football leagues. And I'm like, no, because they got all these damn teams at so many different levels and stuff. But yeah, the other night she said she was pained at the Pacers win the other night over Oklahoma City. And I'm like, okay, that's a shock. I never expected that. But
our Russian friends, I think they like basketball. They've never forgiven us for that one in the '60s in the Olympics when they managed to muscle the Americans out and win the gold. And then we said we're not letting that happen again, and we started with the dream teams. They've never forgiven us. They said no, only we're allowed to have paid athletes in the NBA. The Russians are mad. I love Anna, but I kid my Russian friends.
what's so funny though is that even after we started paying them, we had that blop in the 2000s or whatever, where even our NBA pros got beat by the world. It was like,
because a lot of the NBA players are not American anymore.
But the hard thing too was that these I mean Bird and Johnson and all them, they had to look back. They were so embarrassed because that was the whole point of having the NBA players in it, was so the US would not lose the title.
Yep. But that was to me, that was peak NBA, the 80s. The 80s from about 1980 to maybe 1992, 95. That was peak NBA time. In my opinion. I mean you go from the time when Julius was still playing, Dr. J was still playing, and all the way through till you started, the old guard started to leave, the Dominic Wilkins and the Bird and Magic and Jordan and all those guys started leaving. Then they said, oh, we got Kobe and you got LeBron. I said, they're not the same. I'm sorry, they're not the same. They're not the same kind of players as it used to be. But again,
there was an article a few months ago. There was an article a few months ago where some of them, like Isaiah Thomas or Jordan, some of the old guard, Rodman, I think some of the old guard players were condemning the current status of the NBA because they're like, there's like, what is this crap? Helping your opponent and all this stuff, because they come from the days of absolute hate. I mean, they don't hate them as people. Well, I think in some cases they did, but but you know what? But when on the court, it was no holds barred. It was all trash talk. It was all kick your ass. We're not going to help you up. You're the enemy. That type of stuff. And they were talking about how the game is lost a lot, and I agree with it, because there was nothing like having those waiting for the Celtics and the Pistons play. You got Lambeer with his combat basketball. You got even Jordan. Oh, especially Jordan and the Bulls and the Pistons. What is the most hated rivalry in the NBA that you remember back in the 80s?
God, if you would ask me that about the NFL, I could give you a bunch of really heated, teams that just hated you. The NBA, I'm not so much. I don't know. I mean, the Celtics and the Lakers were always a big rivalry. The three of them. I can always remember growing up from the 70s and the 80s. The three teams, the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Celtics, always vying for supremacy. And then you had other teams moving, especially once the Bulls rose to significance with that amazing team they had. It wasn't just Jordan. You had Pippen and you had Rodman, and it was the same thing with the Celtics. It wasn't just Bird. You had Parrish and you had McHale. God, I love McHale. He was awesome. Danny Ainge, yeah. Good teams. Good, solid. Same thing with the Sixers. It wasn't just Dr. J. Man, you had
Barkley there at one point, didn't you?
You had Barkley. You had that one team when it was Dr. J. It was Dr. J, Maurice Cheeks, Moses Malone. Was it Anthony Toney? Was it Bobby Jones?
Anthony or Andrew Toney?
Andrew Toney, yeah, and Bobby Jones. God, that was an amazing team. God, it was so, and the Lakers too. They had it was almost like these teams had an unfair advantage of talent over so many of the other teams, for like the entire 2 decades from the 70s and the 80s. Which is it's good if you're a fan of those teams, not so good if you're a fan of the other teams in the league.
Nope, not at all. Then you always had the debates about the officiating. Was the were they homerisms or not? And
Mm.
it's like, this is, but I still swear that these leagues protect certain teams and not others.
Oh, sure they do. Yep. And certain players, guaranteed certain players.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, like the whole thing about LeBron, the whole thing with him
Mhm.
being the GOAT and all, and it's bullshit.
No,
You know, I can think.
he is a poor man's excuse for Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. You want to be a LeBron James fan? God bless you. You like what you like, but I'll take Michael. I'll take a team with Michael Jordan and a bunch of other regular players and a team of five LeBron James, because all they're going to do is flop on the court all day long anyway. So.
Oh yeah, that's one of the big problems that's developed in even college basketball. They got it now. The whole flopping stuff. And hello, Alaska Jeff. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for coming
Alaska
by.
Jeff.
Absolutely. We have no topics tonight. We just
Nope.
went into sports by osmosis, and we got onto some things. We actually talked about Twitch, Rumble, and YouTube, and the benefits, the positives of all those. So I know Jeff is at least on YouTube and Twitch. So if you had any comments about that, feel free to throw that in. We're just kind of jumping around all over the place tonight. I forgot for great old Legatus out here. Our update is 12:04 left in the first period. Florida Edmonton still are scoreless. So,
Yeah, you said something about hopefully the Canadians can win and bring the cup back where it belongs. If with the way it's going between our two countries, they may never bring it back. They may just keep it up there. Say screw you to us Americans. It has not been. Tensions have been running. Well, tensions have been running between all of America and the lefties up in Canada. Our friends like Canadian Spider-Man are still on our side.
Sometimes though we end up saying, just keep it up there. We don't care. But hey, oh man, Jeff, wow, got sunburn from a glacier cruise the other day. See, that's one thing, folks. Yeah. You always have to do sunscreen, and you'll have to watch yourself outside. It's so hot right now, 78 degrees. Ooh, God, that's hot, 78 degrees. But I will tell you, in Florida, in January, it could be an 80-degree day. You will get burned as bad, if not worse, than you were in August or July out in the sun, because the heat is deceiving when it comes to sunburn and dehydration. It just, those cloudless skies.
Yeah.
West, you come down here sometimes. You know how the heat is, right?
Yeah. Yep. And especially listen, when he mentioned it's a glacier cruise. If you're out there, it could be in the 50s, and you're out in the snow. The reflection off the sun, off the snow, can be just as burning as the direct sun. It's one of the reasons why, if you notice, when you're outside and you come back inside, you get what's called snow blindness. You can't see because it's darker inside. It's the same thing. The snow amplifies the sun's rays, so it doesn't have to be hot to burn you. You can get burned and not even be sweating. It'll get you.
I wonder if yellow snow helps keep the burn down, because this is an expert in avoiding the yellow snow. Snortopoopa Scuba.
There he is.
Hello, humans and other critters. Now we're talking snow. We got the bear here. We got Alaska Jeff here. Yes, exactly. And hello back to you, sir. But Jeff did say, that being said, it was one of the most beautiful days on the water been seen up here. Awesome. How was your trip to Barron, the tip top of I was about to say Africa.
Point Barrow?
Yeah, well, yeah. Alaska Jeff was going up to Barrow earlier this week.
Nice.
So, yes, and if Jeff's been on a few times, and we talked about the state of Alaska, the geography, and everything else too. So that's
Point Barrow is the northernmost section of the United States.
Legatus, and I'm not sure the Calder Cup. I think you told us about that particular league a while back, but I'm not familiar with that disallowed goal. But hey, that's the problem. That's what I hate. I'm starting to get where I hate replays. Squirrel. Yes. Barrow is next week. Okay, got schedule picked up. Getting ready for snow and ice again. Okay, I got it. Oh, so Legatus will still go with the Abbotsford Canucks over the Charlotte Checkers. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But yeah, yeah. Say hi to Snortopoopas' cousins. So, um, but I tell you what, I hate replays in all these sports nowadays. I especially in baseball, it's kind of that's what made baseball one of the things that great is the idiotic umps, the blind umps, the blind
Yeah.
officials and stuff. And now, oh, we got challenges after review. Yes, the minor league. Yes, the minor leagues. I know of the AHL actually. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm watching some of the College World Series right now, and I'm like, it just feels wrong because half the fun of baseball is screaming at the bloody murder at the official, the umps. Don't you think?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I can if you're talking about umps and their fallibility. Um, I can remember one of the things that my dad used to always say. He's like, listen, and it goes across officials of all the sports, but especially baseball because it involved judgments on the balls and strikes. It was if you're gonna call and you're gonna have a big strike zone, it's gotta be consistent throughout the game. If you're gonna have a small one, it's gotta be small throughout the whole game. None of this variation, none of this all of a sudden the strike zone is shrunk by the seventh inning for one team over the other. Be consistent. Be consistent. You want to have a small one? Fine. But it needs to be the same throughout the whole game. Same thing with how you're calling fouls, or penalties in the NFL. Be consistent. That's all he wanted.
And both ways,
Yep.
both
Yep.
ways, both teams.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing too. Is like, one team has one strike zone, one has another. It's consistency is the name of the game. So,
It is.
Jeff says he avoids Snortopoopas' family. They invited him over to dinner, and he kindly refused. I don't think they're forgiving me for that.
Yeah, well, they weren't inviting him over for dinner. They were inviting him over to be dinner.
Yeah, like Legata said, not over to dinner, but most likely
Yes.
over as dinner. So yes, exactly. I tell you what, I had some video. I put a tweet out earlier today. Some of Snortopoopas' cousins were bouncing around on the golf course. One of the little bear cubs was like playing with the flag in the hole. It was really cute to watch. So, and hello, Figgy.
Hello.
How are you tonight? Now, this lady is
Greetings.
one hell of a streamer. If you guys have not subscribed to her, West, if you get her link in there, please do it. She got a couple more subs today. She's approaching the 200 mark, but do it. Because on her stream today, before she even started, she got stuck. What is one thing that's stunning and I've talked about around this channel, West? The potty gaming chair.
Oh, yes. Oh, good. Yes.
The
Okay.
potty gaming chair. Yes. Make sure y'all do go subscribe to her, please. On to 200. Yes. I think she forgot she was muted or didn't have Falsmeyer muted sound up. And I'm like, because she was so rattled. She had questions. She has questions. So, yeah. Figgy, I'd love to have you on a live stream one day. You tell me when, and I will let you ask those questions. Yeah, she had good questions. Like, is it connected to the plumbing? How do you deal with smell and sound while you're streaming, and everything like that? So it's great questions. I had answers.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, hey, you had legit questions, Figgy. You had legit questions. I just wish Stunning was here, because if Stunning was here, he has
the answers. He had the answers.
He has the answers for us. I rely on him to take care of a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it's if you ever want to come on, I'll send you the invite, the link for StreamYard's, Figgy. But it's so good to see you tonight. Thank you. By the way, we have an update for the great Legatus Legionize. The Florida Panthers have struck first, taking a 1-0 advantage over the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh,
Sergei Bobrovsky's. No, that's a save by the Florida Marlins. Damn it!
Now, where are they right now? Are they down with you, or are they up north?
They're up north in Edmonton.
Okay.
But hey, by the way, JT Kirk and I just hold on. Snortapoopa said he'll be headed bedward soonish. So wishing a fun trip. Well, Snortapoopas, thanks for coming by always. But hey, before you leave, I do want to run something by you. Let me see. Let me get this pictures of attendance at Miami, Colorado Rockies baseball game. So, folks, they announced one night on a Monday night. Oh, he puts on the brakes. All right. Let's see if I can get this. Yes. All right. Here from the sun.com. Let me see. Let me get this picture up and let me stop the video. There we go. Folks, this is an announced crowd of 5,844 a week ago Monday. This is Major League Baseball, folks. If you're not familiar with the Marlins, they're an expansion team back in the 90s, and they played up where the Miami Dolphins did, up on the Broward County, Miami-Dade County line, where it was out of the city. Well, they have a big stadium. You'll see a picture of this beautiful stadium that they have, and for all these millions of dollars of taxpayer money, and in the city, they tore down the old Orange Bowl to build a stadium to just draw everybody into. Yeah, do you really want to drive into downtown Miami at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a work day? No, nobody in their right mind did. But here, folks, here's the picture of 5,844 people at the Colorado Rockies at the Miami Marlins game.
Oh, God.
Even JT and I were about tempted to start counting people. Like,
yeah.
How's that even 5,000?
They got about 500 there.
Free West, let me let you go on a little rampage. What do you think when you see this?
I'd say that you've got an interest problem with your team at the moment. Either that or you just got complete apathy. But to me, the biggest thing once you said, and I didn't realize it or I have forgotten about it, that they tore down the historic Orange Bowl, where one of the greatest games of all time was played. The divisional playoff game between the Miami Dolphins and the San Diego Chargers was played, where the ultimate player, Kellen Winslow, was the hero of that game.
They had to help him off the field. He couldn't walk off the field on his own. Yeah.
God, I love that game. I actually have it saved to my hard drive. I'm gonna stream it on Cosby one day. It is the best. It is.
That would be good. That'd be a good stream to do. But yeah, folks, you wonder if the upper deck is even open.
Yeah, no, that's look at it. I think there's 500 people there.
This level here is supposed to be the suites, you see?
Yeah.
Now, see, I like the outfield. Looks like they have a few people in the field. I'd pay the cheap seats. I like to catch the home run balls out in the outfield, but I'm just like, when I heard about this, I'm like, they can't be. And like JT was saying, well, if you can get enough of a defined picture, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 people in that section.
Yeah.
If you start running the math and all, you're like, how do they even get 5,800?
Yeah, you got 10 in that one. You got 10 in that one section. You got maybe 20 sections, 30 sections. I mean, 40 sections. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you don't have 1,000 people there.
You might as well move the Miami Marlins to Juneau, Alaska, with a crowd like this. Jeff, this is an announced crowd between the Colorado Rockies at the Miami Marlins in downtown Miami have 5,844 people. But this truly is a serious point. People in their right mind don't want to go to Miami or anywhere near it.
Yeah, no.
I drove down to Hollywood. We were checking out a school for my kid, but it was like, I'm glad the kid never went down there. It was just like the traffic south of I-4 and stuff. Mm. It just is a whole new world. Wow, that's a lot of folks. Yeah, it is.
Well, a lot of these towns in Florida, were they sprang up as small. I mean, we're small settlements all the way through the 70s even, and all of a sudden exploded, from the 60s into the 80s and 90s. And I think that they grew too fast, and so the infrastructure is not as good as it should be. So that's why you run into a lot of the problems trying to get around in these areas, which is the same thing with New York. New York grew up gradually. I think they were just incompetent when they laid out New York City, but I think in Florida, I think in a lot of these places in the South, especially because it's got exponential growth over the last 50 years and fast, that they didn't lay out the things properly.
Well, they're doing it here. The city I live in. You fly into JIA, you see it. I mean, the roads are already. I mean, they keep putting up more businesses. They keep putting up more apartment complexes, these multifamily residences and stuff.
Yeah.
And you still have 2-lane roads. You still have country living, like people that lived there 50 years now have a big friggin' apartment complex behind their house. No more trees or wooded views and stuff.
Yeah.
Snort Poopa said he's been to Miami twice. Oh, that was 2 times too many.
But no, you're right.
Oh.
I've seen it right here in Jersey. I've seen plenty of towns where I've lived or hung out in, where the roads are all small 2-lane roads, anywhere between 25 to 40 mile an hour roads, all small, and a lot of farmland, a lot of individual houses spread out here and there, and all of a sudden they built over in the span of 5 years, would build like 4 different developments of huge amounts of apartment complexes, and not done anything with the roads. So now you've got like 10 times the amount of people trying to use the same roads. It is a nightmare.
Yeah, and you mentioned 10. We've actually got 10 people watching now. Yay. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you smash that like button. We got into double figures. Folks, we are not a sports show tonight. This is completely random. We have no script, nothing else.
Yeah, we just happen to be talking about sports.
Right. We've talked about Rumble, Twitch, all that stuff earlier. We got into this just by complete randomness. And I'll tell you what, this is what it tells me why I tell people don't run if we're talking sports, because there's so much more to the world of sports now, and it's getting worse. But in college, we got the NIL paying players and these rosters just like indiscriminate free agent every year. You got these taxpayer-funded stadiums. I mean, Florida's dealing with a couple issues. You got this in Miami. How is the team going to survive like this? You also, they have the Tampa Bay Rays, whose stadium was torn up by a hurricane last year, and now they're playing in a minor league park. And then because the taxpayers don't want to put money into an old, decrepit stadium when the team wants a new stadium. So now both sides are unhappy with each other. You got Jacksonville with the friggin' Jaguars building $1 billion stadium. Yes, folks, $1 billion friggin' dollars. At least Shah Khan's supposed to put up half of it, half a billion dollars. So at least that's something. But still, God, it's just those are big issues in sports, folks, and those are key issues, and even things like facilities, infrastructure, like Wes is saying. That's why when you hear me talk sports, don't always just turn it and go on. There are real life consequences with sports. There are real life issues that we don't mind talking about. We avoid party politics. Taxpayer funding is politics in a way, but you know what? It's within the general scope of what we'll talk about right now. Because I mean, if you're a taxpayer, do you really want to fund this crap?
No. I mean, obviously, listen. The team is not even. There's going to be a couple problems here. You look at this crowd. First off, this is, you've got the taxpayer funded this stadium. Now the taxpayers are going to have to subsidize them to stay alive, along with the rest of the Major League Baseball teams, which is the only reason some of these teams, because they got that revenue sharing program, right, where you've got all the teams making huge money, having to subsidize the teams that are actually losing money all the time. Now, if a team is losing money all the time, maybe they don't need to be existing. They need to go. They shouldn't be here.
Well, get you into things like the WNBA.
Well, there are people that. Oh, good Lord!
I mean, the way it's subsidized by the NBA itself. I mean, it's a losing venture.
That's what's hysterical. They complain, we're not getting paid the same as the men. They're like, well, the men are paying you. The men are actually paying for you to exist. So don't complain that you're not making the same as the NBA, because guess what? The crowds don't match.
Yeah, because I think I've heard like average or about the highest salary in the WNBA is about 60,000, which is wow. You can get a college. That's a very low salary to be in a pro sport like that, and you got 60,000 for that. But then again, the game tickets. I guess there's one recently with Caitlin Clark, who's the big draw in the league, and one game is like the ticket prices with her was going to be $300, but when they found out she wasn't going to play, the tickets are going for like $3.
Yep. And that's what's funny. They don't. I don't think. I mean, maybe the owners do. Maybe the league understands it. I think the other players don't understand. She is the best thing that has happened to their league, and for them to disparage her, to treat her the way they're treating her, don't do that. You should be supporting her. She is actually growing your league. I don't care if you don't like her. You don't have to like her, but she is growing your league. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
We talked about in the 80s the rivalries with the Pistons and Bulls. I mean, nobody liked the friggin' Pistons. Hated Lambeer, Rodman, all these guys. But you know what?
Dirtiest team ever.
Dirtiest team ever. But they grew the league. They got the attention. And
they did.
CJ, the WNBA has never made a profit in 28 years. Nope.
Well, that's the thing about.
I didn't realize they'd been around that long either. What other business can lose money and stay around like that?
Only if it's in the public sector. If it's a government-run business, it can stay in business forever and lose money.
I don't know. The NBA's given that a new. It's
true.
not just the private sector, public sector. Yeah. It's private sector. Let's go Beavers! Beavers last night pulled out an amazing win in the bottom of the ninth after choking with a 3-1 lead.
Don't say that. Don't say Beavers and pulled out the same phrase there. Somebody's gonna clip that.
Well, it's okay. I've already been able to be blackmailed all the time already. Just look at a regular stream, regular Fortnite stream. But yeah, they rallied last night for the 4-3 win in the night to move into tomorrow's game against Coastal Carolina. Chanticleers have won 23 games in a row. So let's see what happens with that. Right now we're talking about Miami. This is their stadium with the announced crowd of 5,844. Speaking with the Beavers, though, in the game with Coastal Carolina, the Beavers, though, with the destruction of the Pac-12 conference last year, they didn't move into another conference like in football. They actually played an independent baseball schedule, which is unheard of in college baseball.
College baseball, yeah.
They only had 19 of about 60 games at home this year.
College baseball doesn't get the attention it deserves, unlike its siblings, football and basketball. I think it gets underappreciated.
Well, yeah. What was really unique with them is that they did not move into Mountain West or another conference where you get a number of home games. There's some guarantees and stuff. They had to go on the road playing a lot of teams this year. Only had like probably a third of their games at home. And that's not good for raising money for your programs and stuff. But they did it. They're 8th seed nationally, and they are in the winner's bracket facing Coastal Carolina tomorrow, who, like I said, has won 23 in a row. And we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, the Gators are not so good on baseball this year. And even the women's softball team choked big time in the World Series. Snort Poopas and yelling Beavers. And CJ, I agree with you. Yeah, I was working as an usher at the local minor league park once, and they're like, rain comes through. Oh, well, sit back, folks, whatever. Well, we'll be a little bit longer, like an hour and a half. Another half an hour later, it'll be a little bit longer. And then soon after that, it was like, well, we just got off the phone with the meteorologist across the street, and this last rain will do it. And then about 45 minutes later, sorry, game called. Good night, folks.
Yeah, That's the thing about baseball. I mean, Carlin highlighted that whole thing about the difference between baseball and football. You know,
Yeah.
they stop when it drizzles.
Well, I hate it with just weather forecasting, like CJ saying, the weather business. These meteorologists don't know their head from their butt, and they just
Oh
make
yeah,
it up
no,
all the time. It's
yeah,
like,
no.
yeah, but yeah, I know with baseball. Although there was one that my mom and I were watching recently, and it was like, why didn't you jackasses stop the game earlier when the rain was actually harder than when
Yeah.
lightning, we got to stop. I mean, how often does Caddyshack happen? Lightning on the golf course. I mean, you remember back in the 80s, we'd sit through thunderstorms, lightning. They didn't stop football for it. Now we got lightning within 25 miles. We're gonna stop
Hey,
it.
a thunderstorm happens, lightning. I mean, heavy. There's been a huge thunderstorm. I delivered the mail. I didn't stop delivering the mail.
So I agree with you.
I think you can. I think you can throw a little baseball. You know, I'm lugging around a whole bunch of mail. I'm actually pushing a cart, metal framed cart, and I'm walking around on the pavement. I'm ready to get struck by lightning. You guys can play baseball, all right?
Man, I agree. That's why I feel. But CJ, one good thing for baseball could be is it could help you if you need sleep. That's what I would do with the Cubs games. I would just sit there, watch the games, and on Sunday afternoon, come home from church and just sit back on the couch after lunch and just watch a baseball game and definitely fall asleep. Wake up about the seventh inning for the best part of the game.
Yep. No, I cannot count the number of times that I've come into the room or my dad's before he's gone now, but he be in his recliner and he's dead out. He's asleep. He's gone, and the baseball game's playing. I'm like,
oh, I know.
Ball game put him right to. He's watching the Yankees, and they just put him right to sleep.
Exactly. It's there. And CJ says hello to you. And Snort Poop said it was more fun before all the indoor stadiums. Teams would play in the rain, snow, and ice. Couldn't care less about the game. It was fun to watch. Slithering and cake with mud. I know the old 60s and 70s NFL, the dual purpose stadiums. You had a football field that was also a baseball field. You had the dirt infields. I mean, just
that was what was great. And listen, I am I much to the disappointment of my father. I was a Philly fan. He's a Giant fan, so he's a New York, fan. Yankee, Giants, Knicks. But the when they redid the stadium for the Giants, they did not put a dome on it. They left it open, and people were like, "Oh, you're never gonna get the Super Bowl." No, guess what? They got the Super Bowl that year. And it was cold, and it was like the old days, man. It was one of the best Super Bowls ever because it was in an open stadium up in the Northeast, man. It was great. It was fantastic, and they should do that more often. I think they should be. I think it should. Every Super Bowl needs to be played in an open dome stadium, and every other one needs to be in the Northeast.
Because that's what's so bad is everything has to be these highly manicured fields. It has to be exactly right, perfect, and they end up. And the thing is, it's not safe for the players because how many times have you heard that they screwed up the turf that they put down? I mean, it's happened in Jacksonville. Players hurt knee injuries. Everybody's unhappy. The bowl games come because they change the field like 4 or 5 times a season. It's like just play on the damn grass and let it. Just be what it is. I mean, it's safer than having to do all this stuff like that.
That's why I think now is that stadium in Arizona, is that grass or is that turf?
I'm not sure what. It's probably turf. It's probably field turf. A lot of these indoor ones.
Well, they have. The thing is that, and correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It's happened before. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. But if I'm not mistaken, the entire field can come out from underneath the stadium and out into the open, which is why I thought maybe it was grass. And if it's grass, if you have a stadium like that where instead of the dome opening up, the field, the actual field itself can wheel out. Call me crazy, but I think this is the case with the Sun Devil Stadium. The field can come out. Then you can expose it when it's not being used to the elements, and so you can have grass inside.
Yeah. That's neat. And Snortopoopa said they never let him. In a lot of stadiums, the cheerleaders keep disappearing. How did? Anyway, I'm going to watch how I phrase that. So.
Oh, the loudest stadium.
No, I could have easily said a clippable moment with the way Snortopoopa set that one up there.
Oh,
if the cheerleaders were on the menu or not. But yes, the loudest, the Superdome. I know our friend Clover times. He was a big Saints fan. We had many talks with him and stuff like that. But
that stadium was loud. The one that the Seahawks played in was loud. And the one that the Vikings played in was pretty loud. Could get loud. Those three, I always remember them being really loud. There are characteristics about certain fields, and those three always stood out as being loud. Like the old Giants Stadium in the Meadowlands, the ones that the Jets and the Giants played in, was notorious for the swirling winds, and the Giants knew this, and so they would manipulate the doors. There were doors down the bottom, and if you opened up, I forget which side of the field, you opened up one side, and it created a swirling wind. So when the opposite team was kicking field goals, those doors mysteriously all of a sudden ended up opening up.
You gotta love home field advantage.
Yeah. It's like that game. It's like that game in the snow where Bill Belichick had the snowblower run out of the field to clear that little bit of stretch so that his guy could
how about the
field goal.
How about the New England Miami one where they ran out this the little machine, the sweeper, the plower. Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
And I do get lightning nearby. I do, but mostly for baseball and stuff like that. Not football. Football, I mean, it's like they do like some 5-10 miles, and it's like, baseball was one with rain delay. Football, just you got to play through it. I mean, we did it forever, and I don't know.
Even as kids, you didn't go home if it was lightning, if it was raining, but you weren't even getting paid as a kid.
Baseball was different because it does affect safety because of the hard ball, the bats, stuff like that with the rain. Although they've played through some hellacious storms I've seen before.
Yeah, I remember seeing it was either Randy Johnson or Kurt Schilling pitching in an absolute downpour. I'm like, man, how can you even throw the ball properly?
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. Of course, Randy Johnson, the guy that destroyed the bird on the one pitch to home.
Oh, God, yeah.
Boom, yes. Jess, hey, our friend Jess, Chicago Bears fan. There's drama around the Bears supposedly moving out of the city to build a stadium on the old horse track, Arlington Heights. Oh. Well, but see, then again, that's a case, though. Do people really want to go to downtown Chicago? We just saw what happens in downtown Miami. Now, maybe it's different because the Bears have that history of being downtown, the history of so maybe it's different in their case, but it does seem like it makes more sense to move your stadiums outside of the city. Like even here, the discussion is to move our fairgrounds from next to the stadium to out on the city outskirts, so that more people can get there. With ease up congestion.
True.
And all.
Yeah, true. Those county fairs can be notorious to get out of once you're in.
But of course, I think the Jaguars want the whole damn area to themselves, but they have to share it with the minor league ballpark. So
no, but you can't move to Soldier Field. You know what? I know they've redone it, but they still kept that facade, right? That looked like that Greco-Roman structure up the top there. That is iconic, man. You can't move the Bears out of Soldier Field. I mean, that is God. I don't know. I'm you know what? I'm just an old crotchety, inflexible man. I just I don't like change.
I tell you, I hated that they destroyed Texas Stadium for Jerry's friggin' World. I mean, all these damn stadiums and all this damn glass. It's like,
well, there is one that I was not sad to see go, and that's Veterans Stadium. That thing was a nightmare. And
was it that bad?
Yeah. Oh God, it was a decrepit building. The field was, when you're talking about turf and the problems with turf, if in the 70s and the 80s, you asked any player in the NFL what stadium was the worst surface to play on, they'd tell you Veteran Stadium in Philadelphia was just awful. The seams were terrible because the gaps were so big, and you get caught up in it's where so many turf toe injuries happened, and it was thin, so it was almost like getting tackled on concrete anyway. It was awful. It was an awful stadium. The best thing about it though was that it had its own courthouse and jail. So
Yeah, that says something about the city of brotherly love when you not only have a jail, you have your own courthouse.
Yep. you had
In and out arraignment.
Yep. Well, you are constitutionally entitled to a speedy trial.
Yep. Snort says, you know how it is. Some of the fans like the chili dogs, some of us like the cheerleaders. Yep. Snort. I'm not going to say it, Snort. I'm not going to say it. But yeah. But yeah, that would be that'd be horrible to see Soldier Field not there anymore. It's
exactly.
like Chicago, like Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Although Max was telling me about. Well, yeah, but Max was telling me what the problems were with Wrigley, and they had to really do a lot of specific type of building because of the way it was originally built. But still, imagine the Cubs not playing in that spot. Even though I hate what it looks like now, imagine them playing somewhere different. It just ain't right. And the Bears not in Soldier Field just would not be right. Now, I do have a question for Jess, though. Location apparently is the issue from what you say. What about the funding? Is it funded by the owners, or is it partially taxpayer money? Has that been part of the controversy with the Bears and relocating outside the city?
Because
here, they went through so many votes and stuff trying to get this $500 million stadium because they're building nightlife downtown on the river. Yay! Like anybody wants to go in their right mind to downtown Jacksonville and party on Wednesday night after work.
You know what? If they're not flying in or out of the city or going to see the professional sports team, nobody's going to Jacksonville anyway.
No, I know. Allergy. Hey, you don't let it get you down. You keep fighting. NASCAR. See, metal bleachers. I can get that. I can see move people out of metal bleachers. But Wade loves NASCAR. Wes, what do you think with NASCAR?
I don't. I have a bunch of my friends. I think I've mentioned this to you before that as a kid I went to a campground in South Jersey. Yes.
Good night, Snort.
Oh, night, Snorty.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. And the campgrounds down south is closer to Philly, so a lot of my friends growing up were from Philly, and all of them, a bunch of them, for some reason they were huge racing fans, both NASCAR and IndyCar. And the NASCAR, both of them are the issues with that is it's an oval track. It's going around the see. That's why I kind of like some of the European races better, because it's more than just going around this, infinity, making left-hand turns. It involved a little bit more. I'm not trying to take away from it. They have skill in driving. I've seen some of these guys, how they, I don't know how they don't wreck more often than they do, but it to me, I don't need to watch, say, the Indy 500 until there's only like 10 laps left. So
kind of like watching an NBA game.
Yeah.
In the last couple minutes. Well,
yeah,
I would say,
true.
Well, see, you're nicer than I am. You're nicer than I am, because to me, I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and watch cars go in circles.
Exactly. Like I said, that's why I don't usually turn it. Well, here's the thing. Here's what usually happens. The NASCAR, we watch it down at the campground, and we put the TV on, and we all stand there and we're drinking. Nobody's paying attention. We're all having a good time talking, chatting until about the last 20 to 10 laps. Then we're watching the TV. We don't watch any other time. So, but that, like I said, and those guys are hardcore racing fans. They know all the racers. They know all the names. They know all the stuff. I don't even know any of that. I just like to see the drama at the end. So
Yeah, you just go and you go to hang out with your friends and talk.
and
So
what's worse is there are times where the drama is it's stolen from us. I go, I'm
yeah.
like, all right, it's 10 laps left, or 5 laps left. This is where it gets good. And then a caution flag comes out, and the race ends under caution, so nothing happens for the last
We're the
4 laps.
the
Yeah.
angriest submissives and I got it. So July 4th, and we were getting into it because Ollie's Discount Store was leading the race, and then some car blew up, burned up the track. Man, they made it wait till 3:00 in the morning to finish because they had to get out there, repair the track, hot glue it down, all this shit. Because God forbid if they let the Ollie's Discount car win the race, because normally they would have quit the race, But they're just as pointing out another problem with these things. It's political, but it's
Yeah.
part of the historic landmark status.
Yeah, see, I wanted to address that. I
Yeah.
understand it's a historic landmark, which is
One
why
second.
I want them to. Yeah, sure.
Hey, Sashi, welcome in. Just
Sashi,
want to make sure to say hi. Sashi, no go on cars going in circles. What about ovals? Ovals, okay, Sashi. Same thing. You know what I meant. Circle, oval. An oval
Well,
is just
Sashi
flat.
told you.
It's a friggin' damn oval is a flattened circle.
It's a
There you
squish
go.
circle. Yeah, there you go.
Well, anyway, but go ahead.
No, I saw this comment. I wanted to mention it. I understand it's a historic landmark. It's one of the reasons why people love it and they don't want the Bears to move. I think people would be willing, before they see the Bears leave, to compromise. The problem is that the politicians are immovable. They won't budge on it, and the historic society won't budge on it. But people would be willing to say, all right, listen, we understand it's a historical landmark. You've got to keep the spirit of the building alive, the general look of the building alive, but you've got to allow them some room to expand. You've got to allow them to make certain changes, in order to keep up with the rest of the league, because the building is, I mean, how old is the building? The building's been there for forever now. Same thing with Wrigley's, and all these buildings are ancient in terms of sports buildings, and if they're going to keep up and be competitive with the rest of the league in these luxury megalopolis arenas now, you've got to allow them, historic or not, to expand somewhat, at least somewhat. I mean, give them breathing room, just a little bit. You've got to compromise somewhere. There's got to be some middle ground. But I'm naive. I'm talking about politicians and the historical society here.
Yeah, the historical society, like our downtown. It's like, I don't know what hell you think is historic about historic downtown, but those buildings, houses. I mean, the amount of money you have to borrow to fix them. And what you have to do. It's insane. Speaking of other situations, Missouri governor has just signed a stadium aid package for the Chiefs and the Royals in Missouri. Governor Mike Kehoe signed a legislative package on Saturday approved by the Missouri lawmakers early in the week. Includes hundreds of millions of dollars of financial aid intended to persuade the Chiefs and Royals to remain in the state.
Oh, you got to keep them. You got to keep them both.
Well, and they called it into a special session, which means more money. So the leases expire in January 2031. The two franchises have been trying to decide the best route forward, whether new stadium or renovations. So that's kind of what happened in Jacksonville. Finally, they could only renovate so many times, and then they finally decided. I mean, they got 30 years out of it. And of course, what we lose is the last little part of the old Gator Bowl, which is the upper deck, which is sad. Last year, Jackson County voters defeated a sales tax extension that would have helped finance an $800 million renovation of Arrowhead, home of the Chiefs, and $2 billion ballpark district for the Royals. And this ballpark district, that's kind of what they're doing downtown. Why can we not just build a stadium? Why do we have to keep attaching social events and nightlife to all these things now? I mean, why?
Well, because they're and they never learn. Politicians will never learn this. If they want to draw in a larger crowd, so they want to appease to everybody. If you try to please everybody, you please nobody. Yep. And politicians will never learn that. They will never, ever learn that.
This is how desperate they were. The lawmakers authorized bonds for up to 70% of the cost of new stadiums in the state. but folks, bonds are when they borrow money to finance the construction.
Yep.
So they're actually authorizing debt up to 70% of the total cost. The Royals have bought a mortgage for the property in Kansas. The team has continued to pursue other possible sites in Missouri. So, I mean, this is why, let's say, all this stuff, let's see, Missouri's legislation authorized bonds covered up to 50% the cost of new or renovated stadiums, plus up to $50 million of tax credits for each stadium. And so, and that's for the Chiefs. So it's just all these details that come in this situation. The small time Republic, howdy to you. How are you tonight? Good to see you. Sashi also said, Malaysia used to host Formula One races, but it got too high of cost. Now, Small Time said, if the Chiefs and Royals move over to Kansas, there would be a lot of Missouri politicians losing re-election. Yep. Because, I mean, they're not moving to another – well, they're moving to another state, but they're moving they're not moving across country. How about that? So, great. They're one of the great sports people we have around here, Wes, is Small Time Republic, a resident Auburn fan. Yes. Yeah, and hey, look, Penny popped in. Penny, how are you tonight?
Penny.
Good to see you tonight. I hope you're doing well.
They have to keep, in my opinion, the Chiefs need to stay where they are. You got to. There's been some, and again, this comes. I'm an inflexible old crotchety man who doesn't like change. Some of the worst things that have ever happened. The Colts leaving Baltimore. The Cardinals leaving St. Louis. The Dodgers leaving Brooklyn. I mean, I could go on and on. There were so many of these teams that were, attached at the hip to the city that they started in and have left. And it's sad. It makes me sad. I would love to kept them from moving. I'm just outside of finding a genie in a lamp. I couldn't wish that, to make that happen, but I don't like seeing that.
Yep. No, I agree. And all these things about the district things earn money all year. Yeah, that's what they're doing. But the thing is, you got to have a place with the nightlife. Because I tell you, they're not going to make the money in Jacksonville with what they're trying to do with this stuff.
Oh, okay.
People go to all different places. They don't go to downtown, no matter what. They're trying to build hotels and all this other stuff. I'm like, you whatever, but hey, that's what they're doing. And Figgy's saying hi, and hey, Figgy's still, hey, all right. We didn't mean to trash your Superdome. I love the Superdome. That was a great, always watching the Sugar Bowl every year with that.
I can remember bowl season. There was like 4 or 5 big bowls: the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and the Orange Bowl. Man, I mean, those were the big bowls to watch all the time. So
yeah, it's funny how we ended up. All right, take care, Penny. Thanks for coming by. I hope you can stay more next time. And we're not meaning to be sports heavy tonight. A lot of our sports has not been sports. It's been the side issues of it.
Yes,
the politics and the infrastructure, and that wonderful crowd of 5,844 fans.
Yeah, if that's over 1,000, I'm a monkey's uncle.
You probably are not a monkey's uncle then, because that one I almost that night with JT started counting the people. You'd really need a better resolution, but you know how that goes. Let's play a little bit of a game, shall we?
Very good.
Let's see. Let's play a little bit of. Hey, Penny. Hopefully you hadn't left yet. Saji said the world's largest stadium is Cricket Stadium. Okay,
I
folks,
wouldn't doubt it.
we're going to play Where in the USA a little bit. All right. Shall we do this? This is the thing where I read you a headline. I will give you 3 states. It is up to you to decide, where did this story happen? All right. All right. And that's I'll be playing League with Falls. Oh, that's cool. Tell him hi for us. All right, but you can still play with this one, everybody. All right, here we go. Here's your headline, and I'll give you 3 states. Celebrating a wedding with some gunfire. Celebrating a wedding with some gunfire. Shots came from rented Lamborghini on way to banquet.
Oh, God.
Did this happen in Florida, Michigan, or New Jersey?
God, you know, I
No, Texas. I didn't even give you Texas. Damn it.
you know,
Jeez, Biggie.
I gotta tell you, once you said gunfire and wedding, I
Yeah.
was thinking the South.
Okay.
Until you said rented Lamborghini, then I'm like, wait, we might be in New Jersey now.
Oh, okay. Well, Figgy, it's a big game around here where people start guessing before I even say the states. But yes, but yeah, I mean, sometimes they say the moon or Mars. It gets crazy. Yeah, celebrating a wedding with some gunfire. Shots came from rented Lamborghini on the way to banquet. Uh, what do you say, West Florida, Michigan, and New Jersey?
Well, again, like I said, not once the context of the rented Lamborghini, I'm thinking, it might be New Jersey. I mean, we have some people who, despite the fact that they probably can't afford it, they're gonna if it's a wet, they're going to go out in a Lamborghini anyway, and there will be guns. So in
Okay.
Jersey.
All right. So you're going to say New Jersey, correct?
Mm.
Well, Alaska Jeff says Michigan. Let's see. Sashi says wedding celebrations with gunfire. That's common in the Middle East. Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen the videos?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I've seen. Oh man. All right, Piggy, Sashi, all of y'all. Which state? Legatus, all you guys that are still out here. Jeff, where? Jeff said Michigan though. Jeff is our only chat guess is Michigan. West has said New Jersey. So give us a few seconds.
Yeah.
Celebrating a wedding with some gunfire. Shots came from rented Lamborghini on the way to banquet. So we got 11 people here with us now. Yay.
Nice.
All right. We need that 10th like, though. We're just short of that 10th like. Let's get there, folks. All right. All right. Figgy says, sure sounds too tame for Florida. Okay, maybe, but Figgy's going New Jersey.
There you go. There you go. I'm telling you, if it had been just gunfire at a wedding, I might have said Florida because it's in the South. But once you hit the Lamborghini, I'm like, oh, these are New Jersey fools now.
Oh my God, this is horrible. Sashi said, I remember a time when some dude celebrated a resupply of fuel in the Middle East by firing off an RPG. You guys are tame in comparison. Oh man. Well, give Florida man enough time.
See, that's the thing. I've moved. I used to be closer to New York City. Now I'm closer to Philly because I'm in the South in Jersey. Mm-hmm. The biggest difference is now at midnight on New Year's Eve, I hear a whole bunch of shotguns going off. People go out on the back porch and shoot off shotguns. We
got that in our city, yeah.
Well, fireworks used to happen in North Jersey.
Yeah, well, fireworks, yeah. I mean, just everybody's shooting. Well, you're more rural, so but yeah, in our city, yeah, I was at a hospital one New Year's Eve, and they're all shooting out all around the hospital.
Well, so at least they're in the right spot.
Well, Jess says New Jersey also.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so I think unless Sashi or Jeff or Legatus have an answer, or Wade, if you're still here. All right, we'll go ahead and get the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, file 13. Hey, come in right now. They probably rented it off that sports car dealer outside of Philly on the Jersey side of 75. Where do you think the story happened, though, file 13? Celebrating a wedding with some gunfire. Shots came from rented Lamborghini on our way to banquet. Florida, New Jersey, or Michigan? What do you say? We'll get one more answer in here. So, but yeah, hey, we did get that 10th like. Awesome, guys. Thank you for coming.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. If you're talking the second in either North or South Jersey,
he's close to Camden. He said Camden, yes. New Jersey. He said that specific.
I agree.
Yep. All right. Well, here goes our answer. Celebrating a wedding with some gunfire. Cops say shots came from rented Lamborghini on the way to banquet. Meet Hassan Rabbit Rabat.
Oh,
the Detroit, Michigan man was riding in the passenger seat of a rented Lamborghini Huracan when he fired celebratory shots in the air as the purple vehicle was en route to a banquet hall for a wedding reception. And here is the video, the photo proof of it right here. You can see it's sticking right out. So,
God. And it's
so
purple.
this is for entertainment purposes to the YouTube gods. We're not.
Yes.
You can barely see
That's
anything.
okay. It was not on long enough.
I know. I wanted to show your candy cane thing in Fortnite. That was beautiful, but but it was like I'm like,
oh yeah, no, I get you.
I know it's like,
Yep,
Jeff's
no.
victory, Michigan. If you'd have said the name, I'd said Michigan. Well, he was a member. He was a member of the wedding party. Was traveling in a caravan of quote multiple sports vehicles that were driving recklessly in an area stemming from a wedding party. Oh my! Well, here the autos were headed earlier this month to Royalty Manor Banquet Hall in Dearborn Heights, a Detroit suburb. Sashi, you got any comments?
Sashi was partly right.
Sashi was partly right, I guess. Yeah.
Oh God! I didn't think there was anybody left in Detroit. I thought they all left.
JT's still there, barely, but hey.
Did you remember? I've seen this. Somebody put up a billboard one time. I don't know if it could have been AI generated, but there was a picture of a billboard outside. It said, "Leaving Detroit, last one out. Please turn off the light."
Sashi! It was a Middle Eastern importing his cultural practices to you guys.
There you go. Yes, I'm telling you, he was right. He was right.
Well, the 2021 Lamborghini drove along the highway. Witness told cops the passenger had a firearm in his hand and fired shots in the air. As we saw it, shooting was recorded by a dash cam in the witness's vehicle. Police first learned of the shooting when an onlooker dialed 911 to report that I'm on Ford Road. This guy is shooting guns in the middle of Ford Road. Investigators tracked the Lamborghini, which had been rented for the day from Dream Luxury Cars for $1,500. Whoa! To the banquet hall, where it was seized as possible evidence of a crime.
God.
Oh, and here, members of the wedding party were uncooperative with officers on scene and did not wish to provide any further information, according to police.
Oh, shocker.
With the aid of a confidential source who had been providing information to police for more than a decade, police identified him as a suspect. He refused to speak with investigators, was arrested for reckless discharge of a firearm, a felony. So, wow. The purple Lamborghini was subsequently returned to the auto firm, which had also rented a wedding party a $1,500 a day yellow Lamborghini Urus, which was not implicated in any vehicular gunplay.
The fact that they're yellow and purple.
They must be LSU fans. Hey, Figgy.
There you go.
Yeah, you understand the Superdome. Hold that tiger. The purple and gold. It's got to be LSU fans. But they're up in Michigan. If they were maize and yellow, then it would be Michigan fans. But
Yeah.
So how about that? That was pretty fun.
That's one of them stories. Yeah, but it gets better.
Oh. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we've done this. Yeah, we've done this story here before. Okay. I was like, that's pretty good. But hey, we'll do this one here. All right, we're going to do this one. Okay. I say, Sashi said it combined two things Middle Easterners love: random shootings and fast cars. Okay. All right. We're going to do this one here in the South. We're returning to the South, okay? Let's see. Okay, we're doing Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana. In this one, in this story, we got Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Man, 70, peed on Spam Vienna sausages. Retiree accused of $10,000 contamination at Sam's Club. Did this happen in Florida, Alabama, or Louisiana?
God, I know everybody wants to go right away to Florida, man. No. This is some poor half demented Creole from Louisiana, I think, man. He just off his rocker.
Oh, Jess wants me to repeat the title. Okay, I'll repeat it. Cops, man 70 peed on Spam Vienna sausages. Retiree accused of $10,000 contamination at Sam's Club. Did this happen in Florida, Alabama, or LSU? I mean, Louisiana, LSU, Louisiana. Listen to Figgy's out there threatening us. Somebody's about to get a beat down. Figgy, I want you on this show one night, one time when it will ever work for you when life slows down. You would be a hoot on her, wouldn't she?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, but tonight, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana. Did you decide on an official answer?
Oh, I said Louisiana. Yeah.
All right, you go in Louisiana. Okay,
yes,
so
sir.
Lagatus agrees with you with Louisiana. Jeff says Alabama.
Bama,
all right,
all the way to the Bama state line.
We got nice, gentle Figgy threatening to kick somebody's ass. Jess says Alabama.
Oh, two Bamas.
Jess Figgy says no, you don't. I mean, we're serious, aren't we, West?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'd be a hoot and a holler on this show. But anyway, do you have an answer where this would be? By the way, LSU is now up 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th against Arkansas.
Sign.
Wow.
That's a sign. It's definitely Louisiana then.
All right. No. I just turned around and looked. Man, they're beating Arkansas pretty good. That's interesting. All right. Any other answers out there in the chat?
He says
Florida,
Bama.
Alabama, Louisiana.
We got three Bamas now.
We got Louisville.
Oh, four.
Louisiana.
Four
Alabama.
Oh, three Bamas and 2 Louisianas.
Figgy says Alabama.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. All right. Here we go. Cops, man 70 peed on Spam, Vienna sausages. Retiree accused of $10,000 contamination at Sam's Club. A Sam's Club had to destroy more than $10,500 worth of Spam. Well, why in Vienna sausage? Why? They're canned. Why? I mean, it's not like he's peeing in the merchandise itself. You just get a hose and spray it off, right?
Let me ask you, though. If there was a pile of a whole bunch of cans of Spam and somebody peed all over them, and then we washed them off and we said, "Here you go, Dad, man. Would you like some Spam? Would you take one of those cans?"
I probably would. I mean, as long as they're sealed.
I would too, but I would too, but people are funny like that. I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't want it in sanitize it and put in a bag. I don't want it in the peed on wrappers, cardboard. So,
well,
all right.
Yeah, true. It's metal cans, so you're good.
Okay. $10,500 worth of Spam and Vienna sausages after a 70-year-old man urinated on 2 pallets of the canned goods. Florida police allege. So it's Florida. Yay.
Oh, good Lord.
Yep. It was Florida, not Louisiana.
It was Florida, man.
Yep. Cops charge a witness spotted him relieving himself in aisle 18 at Sam's Club in Lady Lake in Orlando area town. The witness used her cell phone to take a picture of the defendant and reported the incident to the store employees. Sam's Club managers reviewed surveillance footage and spotted a man walking up to the pallets and placing both hands in front of him below the belt line and stood there several seconds. Behavior consistent with urination. Spam is poisoned. Hey, but I tell you what, it came in handy to a lot of the Russian civilians in World War II. Yeah, take that. There you go.
Hey, according to John Cleese, spam is wonderful.
Exactly. Upon inspecting the area, workers confirmed that there was urine on 2 pallets containing about 188 bulk units of Vienna sausages and 345 units of 8 cans. How the hell can he pee on that much shit? That's what I want to know. I mean, okay. I mean, that's like he peed over the whole damn pallet. How?
Yeah.
Unless he walked around it, it's like
he was holding it for a while.
I think they just destroyed too much out of anyway. The merchandise had been contaminated with bodily fluids, requiring them to be discarded. The combined value of the products was $10,584.54. So, investigators charged that after he urinated on the canned goods, he was recorded strolling around the snack section and sitting on patio furniture for about 10 minutes. He then walked to register 2 and paid for his items and left the store.
God, that's some guts, man.
Oh, we'll keep finishing it, but Figgy said when you're been out of power with a month and half, Spam starts looking really good. Hopefully your power's gotten settled though, Figgy. I know that. But good to see you. Hey, Gap After Dark's here. Hey, Gap.
Hey,
there you go. So anyway, to continue the story, records from Sam's Club member portal identified him as a suspect since, quote, all customers have to provide their membership card to a cashier prior to purchasing items while at a point of sale. Additionally, comparison of his driver's license photo with the image taken by the female witness resulted in positive identification. He was subsequently arrested for disorderly conduct and criminal mischief. The latter count is considered a felony since the alleged damage exceeded $1,000.
There you go.
He pled not guilty, free on $3,000 bond in advance of his June 30th. Oh my God, dang it. I wish the God Snortopoopas was here. Folks, and a lot of Sunday nights going forward, I'm going to be on with Lorena Creole on her show, Welcome to Florida, on Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. I encourage y'all to come over there and join it. She's a great human being, great friend of our channel, and we've met her several times and stuff. But you've got to check out her channel and her show. Not just for Publix, but you know what the damn most favorite Florida city is, right? For a guy 70 years old, don't you, Wes Kagle?
The Villages.
He was busted at his home in the Villages. The highest rate of STDs in the state of Florida. Mostly a retirement community. It was so bad, one young bartender told the people when they wanted to have a party, I'll do the bartending for you, but I'm not on the menu. So, in the Villages, one of two properties he owns with his wife in the retirement community, dubbed, quote, Florida's friendliest hometown. Yes, we give you STDs. Yeah. He previously resided in New York, where he sold his Long Island home for $620,000.
Nice.
You couldn't have asked for the better Florida story right there, being the friggin' Villages. I have got to send that to Lorena, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
That is funny.
Yeah. That just was, oh man. Let's see. I'm trying to find another story. Figgy said, oh my God, I was at the tower and this table next to us was talking so loud. Then the lady tells the server, yeah, we are from the Villages. I was like, lady, keep that to yourself. Yes. It's so bad even Figgy, where she lives, knows about the Villages. Yes. And as I said, be sure to support Lorena. Come over there tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. She's doing something, I think, with Florida Man Dad Day. But yes. Yeah, Jeff said, now we know why they couldn't just wash off the spam. Hey, this is not after hours, Wes. We're being very, very.
Yes, I am
tonight. I
am very reserved for a fool from New Jersey. That's for sure.
I mean, listen, we've had phallic-shaped icebergs and all kinds of crazy ass
and inappropriate college mascots.
Yes, exactly. So that. Oh my. Oh man, it's just these stories are so great sometimes. Oh, let's see. Oh God, let me see if I can find one more crazy one. So, let's see. But yeah, it's just too funny with it. Gap. Yeah, talk is after hours. Yes. Yeah. Although some of us need some sleep these days, so that's. Okay.
Sleep? No sleep. We go days without sleep.
This is one I should have invited. Okay. All right. You asked for it, Gap. This story's your fault.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah, I mean, all right. We're going back to the South. Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Florida, Georgia, and Alabama are your choices. Man, 65, arrested for illicit encounter with one of his many goats.
I say whales.
This story is just for you, Gap After Dark. We pick it up a little bit. Man 65 arrested for illicit encounter with one of his many goats. What do you say, Wes?
Well, since I gotta stay in the United States and I can't say either Scotland or Wales, I'm going with Bama.
You're going Bama.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going Bama.
All right. All right. By the way, beautiful cat. Bombay. Is that a Bombay cat? I know it's a beautiful black cat you have there, Gap. That's really nice. Legata says. Legata does agree with Bama map.
Bama. Yeah, you know, I gotta say, you know,
Jeff says Alabama too.
That is well, and the only reason this is a story in Bama is because his sister or cousin weren't available. So.
Well, Gap says Georgia, so that's not bad.
All right, fair enough.
Any other thoughts? Any other answers out there, people? Let's see, give it a few more minutes in case.
Just remember, you got to have goats too. So you know, I mean, you know, we need to make sure that the state has an ample supply of goats because it says one of his many goats.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out really quick with that. But I will tell you what's so funny with it is, you know, it's such a shame. I really wish I could put your image from that tweet out there on the show. But you know, I heard about different things about gun policies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like ridiculous. So Gap says Georgia, and there's plenty of goats. So let me see if anybody else has got an answer. Go ahead and get it in. Man, 65 arrested for illicit encounter with one of his many goats. Is that Florida, Georgia, or Alabama?
Alabama.
All right. Let's see. Give it a few more seconds. Wes, thanks for coming on tonight. We made it almost we're approaching 2 hours. It's about an hour and 45 minutes already.
Very cool.
And the time's just flown, you know?
It has. Yeah. I didn't even realize it was that long already.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to see if you know, we're going to have that other thing later tonight. I don't know if you've had a chance, if you're able to look out there and see if he's posted anything.
Oh no, I haven't. Haven't even looked. This is if it's going to be at 10, he would have posted it in the last half an hour.
I don't think he has. So who knows? But I mean, we'll keep going.
Usually go to his channel. Not just you can't just look on Twitter because he doesn't always Twitter it out. Sometimes he just posts it up on his channel.
Yep, at the last second. So, folks, any other answers here for this question? Gap said he was late because he was watching the Army's 250th birthday parade. That's nice, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That's nice. Yes, and it's also Flag Day today, I believe. So.
Oh yeah. It's a nice combination. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we got people out there. All right. Get your answers in. Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Man 65 arrested for illicit encounter with one of his many goats, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Georgia man.
Oh.
65 arrested for illicit encounter with one of his many goats. The victim, police spokesman told the smoking gun was a white in color female goat. He's in what?
Did you say the smoking gun was a white goat?
Told the victim, a police spokesman told the smoking gun was
the smoking gun must be a publication.
Yes, was a white goat and a white in color female goat. So
I thought you said the smoking gun was a white goat. I'm like, what the hell is it? What?
Hey, Atwood, good to see you. Hey, lurk away, dude. Good to see you, though. How are you doing? We still got 10 people back here. Y'all make sure y'all kick that like button also. Oh, God. National Goat Day is celebrated May 23rd. You had to get.
Oh, we missed it then. It's gone.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure the missus talked about it if she was streaming. Well, the resident of Douglasville is about 35 miles northwest of Atlanta, the owner of a white goat. 2 witnesses reported spotting him in communion. the way these listen, folks,
it gets better.
See, this is why I would like somebody like Figgy on here, somebody that laughs a lot too. Or I mean, this is hilarious. Or misses, and when they break down and they can't breathe. It's funny hearing that laughter because the wording of these articles is what's so funny. And so many times with these, I say, "Not so fast, hold on." 2 witnesses reported spotting him in communion with the goat last Friday morning.
In communion. Nice euphemism there.
Not like the church communion, but
No.
hey, Fallout Dave, sorry you
Like
missed
it's like
this
the
one.
union of the snake.
Yes, it's on the Oh my God, Atwood heard about this one.
Oh, that's funny.
It's close to where he is up there. All right. The witnesses live in a home across the street from his property. Upon spotting the illicit coupling, one of the witnesses called 911 to report that a, quote, male was having intercourse with a goat. The incident was initially logged as an indecent exposure call since no police code exists for man-goat interactions.
You know, that's why it's not Alabama. If they would have called it in, they would have said, "Yeah, so what's the crime?"
We got 11 people here now, so I will send you a link then, Atwood. Yes. Yeah, you might have more intel. Give me a second. I'll send that to you. All right. He was allegedly spotted having sex with the animal on his own property in broad daylight.
Oh, God.
Quote, he has lots of goats, the police said. Oh, God. So then they booked him on bestiality, now free on $1,300 bond. So faces between 1 and 5 years in prison if convicted. So
You know, I have to say, and I don't usually go this route, but with all the stuff they allow in this country anymore, in this world, they got a problem with the guy with his goats.
Yeah, it's See, this is why I say. This is why I say this. She's got a salty tone too.
Yep.
The fuck, exactly. But you didn't put an answer in, Figgy. Yes, that is disgusting. Absolutely. Oh, I can only imagine what my friend, the eclectic goat, would have to say
That's
about
what
this
one. Yeah. You know what? That's a good thing she wasn't on.
No, we've had her. We've had her twice, and we're scheduled to have her a third time coming up. So
yeah,
it's. Oh, you are. I know you're lurking. You do a great job. Thank you out there.
No.
All right.
You know, I've got a There you go. This is for this picture's for Figgy. When I hear that kind of story, there you go. That's what I'm thinking as well.
Oh, is it Grok?
No. This is.
Yep. Yep.
Oh.
There you go. Oh my God.
I agree, Figgy.
Listen, we got so busy. We got so busy that we forgot to even play with Grok tonight. You know.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I know. I got the first. As soon as we started playing, I queried Grok to
bring that picture back up real quick. Congrats on that, Dave. 7. Lego will bring you people. That's good. Good. I didn't realize you were going live, and I just called West up, and we're like, I had to do something. I was going stir crazy after this week, going to bed too early all the time. All right, because here, Figgy said that is my exact face.
Yep.
I like the way one eye is. Yeah, one is wide open, the other's like squinted. It's like
it's confusion.
How did your test stream go, Atwood? Hopefully it went well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's too crazy.
No, I did. Oh, I closed it now. Damn it. I when we first started the stream, I asked Grok. Because we were talking about Hank Hill in the beginning there. Oh, well, actually, no, we were talking about it off screen or in the beginning. It might have been. I can't remember which. I asked them to draw me a picture of Hank Hill wearing a uniform costume, drinking a beer. So, I mean, not a uniform, unicorn costume, not uniform. And it doesn't quite look like Hank, but this is what they gave me.
Oh, God.
So, I don't know. Gronk doesn't know what Hank Hill is. That's not Hank Hill.
Apparently not.
No. So.
Wow. Oh, God. I tell you, she's feisty. Yeah, because that kind of shit makes you add to it.
Yes, it does.
She's got the perfect saltiness to come in with the misses too. That's what's so cool.
Yeah, that's what that eye is. That's the eye twitch. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 12 of y'all watching us. Thank y'all so much. So, let's see. Jeez. Yeah, Dave, you're right. If you ever roam the dark web, nothing surprises you about people. No, that's not me, Gap. I have a banana outfit though. I could actually wear a Peely costume. So maybe I'll do that one time for a real reveal. Bottom of the ninth, LSU still leads Arkansas 4-1. With that, like I said, it's not a sports stream tonight, but we're just kind of keeping up with a few scores. Let's see where the hockey is though, real quick. Let's
here you go. Here goes. This is the eye twitch that she's talking about.
Oh, yeah, Figgy, don't go out there. By the way, Panthers are still up 1-0. Actually, hold on. Let me do a quick update, Wes. I just realized I had to refresh it.
Sure.
2-0 Panthers, end of 2. Man, I mean, looks like they've lost the chance to take home field advantage back. Edmonton has. So, Dave repaired a gas station in LCU. Okay, all right. Here's West.
Yeah, there you go. There's
the eye twitch.
There's the eye twitch with some the fuck. And don't ask me why everything is My Little Pony.
I won't. Oh my gosh. You need to do you need to see about Grok with My Little Pony. With goats, with porta potties or something. Do it so know where it comes. Wes, why is everything My Little Pony? Cap wants to know.
Yes. No, don't ask. Don't ask. I have do you guys the squirrel, okay? Do you guys remember when Google, when they bought YouTube and they wanted to do their own thing to rival X? They did was called Google Plus. Well,
I think I vaguely remember that.
You had a like on YouTube, you had for your channel, you had a banner. Now you linked your YouTube account there, so all your stuff that you posted on YouTube was on there. It was convenient, it was nice, and there was a banner headline. It was larger than the YouTube one, and it was a square, almost like the same size screen as what we have on our icons here on StreamYards here, and the same shape, dimensions. I mean, and so you could change it. I would change it every day. So I have like 1,000 different GIFs, and the GIFs work there. So the banner actually moved like the GIFs do. And so I've got a whole bunch, and so inevitably I had a bunch of My Little Pony ones as well. And unfortunately, a bunch of the ones that are relative for the topic that we're talking about were My Little Pony. So there's your answer, Gap.
Oh, by the way, the UFL Championship's being played right now. If anybody cares about it,
really?
United Football League, yeah, it's
that's right below the CFL. So
DC, which upset St. Louis. They're playing in St. Louis this year. DC leads the Panthers 37-19 at the half. Wow, that's crazy. So, by the way, Gab does not buy that excuse, West. I think he's a collection.
He's not wrong. I used to play with my little niece when I was watching her. We used to play My Little Ponies all the time. I bought her all a bunch of My Little Pony little figurines, and we used to play. And we used to watch the show together. So that's where I got all the My Little Pony stuff from.
Figgy said Bubby, her kid, made her watch a movie, Whiplash, and it was a great movie. It made you feel exactly how it wanted you to feel, but it was so anxiety-inducing, I will never watch it again.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the drumming movie, right? The guy's trying to get a jazz drumming bit down.
I don't know about the movie.
Yeah, no, the guy who does the insurance commercial. What's his name?
Oh, no. Yeah, she said that's that's the drumming movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about the one, the Mayhem guy?
No.
Or Dennis Haysbert.
His name is J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons.
That guy. He does that insurance company. Yeah.
I forget which one. I think it's Allstate. I think it's Allstate.
No, Allstate's Dennis Haysbert.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Farmers is
Farmers.
JK.
Yes. Yeah, he was. That's the thing is he's generally played. People you enjoy. The squirrel again. Okay, He- they do this well. A good actor can do this well. He played a character in that movie that made you dislike not just the character but him. Same thing with Michael Keaton. Great actor, love him. I always enjoyed his character. You like his characters. He was in a movie called Pacific Heights. He played such a despicable, unlikable character. I disliked Michael Keaton himself, not just the character. He did that good a job. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool when that happens. It's insane when I see. I have trouble with movies like that when it's so realistic.
Mm.
I have problems watching it, especially if it involves hurting people.
Oh
I
well, yeah. Pacific
yeah,
Heights. Yeah.
yeah,
He really screwed over
yeah.
to
Well,
many people.
speaking though of those type of nerve anxiety driven movies, remember when I Am Legend came out with Will Smith?
Mm.
Well, it's a movie Mrs. would not normally ever watch. Well, I went with my mother-in-law because Mrs. took the kids to something. Oh my God, I thought my leg was going to get broken by my mother-in-law. She kept grabbing on me, hitting my leg. I just because in the theater in the dark, it's so terrific. It
Right.
just stuff jumps at you. It was like,
Yep.
holy crap, you beat me up. My mother-in-law did. And it's like, but it
No,
was
I know what you mean.
anxiety
I know what you
driven.
mean.
But then
Yep.
again, what happened? I went with some other people and the missus, and it
Mhm.
was ruined because somebody should not have been in the theater because they had that nervous laugh and they destroyed the entire ambiance of the movie. It was not the same because of
Yeah.
that. I mean, we wanted to tell you get your ass out of here. If you can't be quiet, then because that was the whole thing was the intensity. You know,
Mhm. And they ruined the intensity. Yeah. No, they cut it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
I heard
get
that
you.
about that movie and didn't want to see it because they killed the dog, killed Will Smith, not the dog. Well, he
Mhm.
did get fried at the end, but you know,
Well,
but,
that was that. You know what? I'm telling you, it was rough. That was a powerful scene. It
oh,
gets
when
to
he
me
had to
every
take, yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. If
You
you
did
if you
want
ever
to.
owned a dog and loved the
Yeah.
dog, it was hard. That
And it
was
was his one
very
friend.
hard.
It was his one companion and all.
Yep. I
And you
think
knew,
that was a turning point in the film. That broke him at that point.
yeah. Because then he went and got stupid out there and then
Yep.
got in a bad spot and these people saved him. But then again, they ended up bringing him back to the house because they didn't do everything else.
Nope.
You
They
know?
didn't know. Well, they didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh, haha, try to go to movies with someone who has Tourette's. Oh, man. No. Figgy, I don't mean that. I didn't mean that wrong. I mean, because I do understand people have nervous things and stuff like that. But this was one, this lady, I just, I, you know, I just I don't know. I think you have to know your audience. You have to know what your movie is. And if you know you can't handle intensity like that, then maybe you should watch it at home. I mean, like with this lady, she destroyed the whole movie for my wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I understand. People have seizures, they have the ticks, they have stuff like that. And that's
Yep.
never my thing. It just was like that lady though. She knew what she was doing. She just
Yeah.
if you live where I live and you knew how to judge people, you knew the lady was. She was fine. She just shouldn't
Didn't
have been.
care.
She was at a movie she shouldn't have been. I mean, look, hell, we've had people bring frigging babies in car
Babies.
seats
Yeah.
into R-rated movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not even Marvel, but I mean, like blood killing movies and stuff like that. It's like, what the hell are you thinking, people?
Yep. Yep. Well, the problem.
Just like,
See, the thing is, when they bring infants in, and you say, "Well, it's already." I understand the infant can't see it; they're not paying attention. They don't.
yeah,
The problem is that they end up crying out at some point.
yeah, exactly, and that happens. But
Yep.
see, hey, this is awesome. If you have a full movie theater home, I know a lot of people like to stay home
Mm.
too. But
Well,
it's
I
cool.
can't. I cannot. Before she passed, I could not watch any intense film. My mom would be like, "Hey, let's watch this." I'm like, "No, I'm not," because she has the remote. And she's like, "Let's watch this." I'm like, "No way," because every time it got intense and the anxiety built up, she would start fast forwarding because she couldn't handle it. She wanted to see what happened. I'm like, "Just leave the remote alone. You can't do this."
No, I know it's just crazy. But yeah, I tell you, I mean, I it's just it was frustrating because was a frustrating night because she did it the whole time, and it was like,
Yeah.
you
And
know. But I
also,
tell you,
it's
but I
not
do.
cheap. That's a
No,
lot
it's
of
not.
money to go out
I
for a
know,
movie
I
now.
know.
So
But I tell
yeah.
you what, I also understand and appreciate the people that, like Figgy says, she's got a nice home movie theater at home. Some people do enjoy watching movies at home, you
Hmm.
know, and that's
Yep.
good. That's a good thing what you do. I tell you, I'm the one that my parents never took us out to movies, so I missed that growing up. So I
Oh,
am actually enjoying going to movies nowadays. Like in 2020 when they first reopened the theaters here, I mean, I'm like going to everything. I even went to I read the words on the screen. It was a Chinese movie,
oh,
The
subtitles.
800, which was about the Sino-Japanese War
Oh,
in 1938. You know, even before the start of what we knew
hmm.
as World War II. It was a great movie because I wanted to go back to the theaters, and there was nothing like the first time you walk into the 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 thing and see, uh, you smell that popcorn. It was like
Yeah. Yep.
that's one of the greatest things to have back is having the smell of popcorn. I got to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. I got to see Empire Strikes Back again. I got to see Back to the Future. Like Back to the Future. Hey Figgy, thank you for
Yep.
coming by tonight.
Take
Thanks for
care,
hanging out
Piggy.
with us so much. Oh yeah, you watching another movie? What are you watching tonight? If you don't mind sharing. Hopefully, not so intense, but hey, hopefully it's a good one. I'm sure it is. So just curious if you want to share the movie. All right, bye. But yeah, it's oh, you
Yeah,
don't
no.
know. I got you.
The movie going experience was great. There
Thank you, Figgy.
were I
Yeah.
would say maybe 3, 4 older theater. Matter of fact, there's still one in my old neighborhood. It's called the State Theater, and they all had in the 70s they were still open. By the 80s they actually closed this section, but they all had that balcony. We used to
Yes, I
love to
love the
go up to the
balcony.
balcony. Yeah.
Yep. Or dollar theaters. Dollar theaters were
Yeah.
great when
Yeah.
they were still out there and playing forever, and then you got to go through.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, there's one here, the local theater here, in the old neighborhood up in Dunellen, which is outside of Piscataway. It's a couple towns over from Piscataway in North Brunswick, where I grew up. And they play, they don't usually play first run films. They play older stuff all the time, and they've taken out a bunch of the rows so that they put tables in, and then they have service where they come in, you order food, you bring it in, and it's really nice. I mean, like I said, it's an older theater, and it's only one screen, and they play older films, but it's a good experience there. It's a really nice experience. So you can't dismiss an older theater because they're playing older films. I would look into them because sometimes they're a good experience. So,
yep. No, Jess said people brought young kids and didn't pre-buy the tickets to sit together, so the kids kept running between the groups and did tag during. Oh God, Taylor
yeah.
Swift Eras tour 3.5 hours.
Well, you know
Oh,
what? Seeing as it was the subject of the film you were watching, that might have been more entertaining than the film itself. Sorry, sorry, all you Swifties. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now the ire is going to come down on me. I'm sorry.
yeah. Wait till you get sold out next time you play Fortnite. We'll sacrifice you. Atwood said they had a dollar theater shut down because of the vid. Yeah. All right, Atwood, take care. You rest well tonight too. Thank you,
Yep.
everybody. So,
Uh,
I guess we still don't have any word about the karaoke tonight.
yeah, he up till when I just checked, he hadn't listed anything on his channel even. So
All right. Well, maybe not. We'll see what happens, but we'll go for a little bit longer here while we've got this. So yeah, that was the biggest thing coming back in our state was that we actually did not, and it was because of our governor, did not stay shut down that long.
yeah,
But it was
yep,
a great chance to watch movies I never got to see on the big screen. And you know what? We also love like Fathom events and all these other things where they bring these movies out on the 40th anniversary and stuff like that.
mm,
That's really cool. By the way, folks, 40 years ago, 1985, Daisy Blossom and will return on the last Thursday of the month at 7. I think it's 7 or 8 p.m. It might be 8 p.m. I think it's 8 p.m. Yes, 8 p.m. on the last Thursday of this month. And we're going to talk about movies from 1985. being the 40th anniversary. We want to get back to Battleship, Pacific Rim, and Pacific Rim 2, but we've been off for so long. We felt like just kind of getting the flow back together, and see, and doing a stream before we got into more specific movies. So, but yeah, absolutely. Hope to join us for that. So, Dave said, can't keep people locked up here. We need the Florida Man stories. The world needs the Florida Man stories. Exactly. Yeah, the Florida Man games and everything else that we got. Oh my goodness. So let's see if there's anything out on the sports world. Yeah, Florida leads the Oilers 2-0 now. And let's see, we talked about sports stadium extension. Anything else in the news, folks out there to chat? Anything that y'all would like to talk about that could be of interest? Or Wes?
I don't know. I can't imagine. There's really been nothing happened today in the country. There was absolutely nothing going on that was worth talking about in the country happening today.
No, not the parade. The nice
That's what I'm talking about, and all the day of the No Kings protest. I'm like,
yeah,
Well,
I tell you what, look at some of the Florida sheriffs. They made it pretty damn clear.
Oh yeah,
and even the governor himself, like, you block intersections.
You might get run over.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah, I can't even repeat on the stream what some of the sheriffs were saying.
Oh, I know. It's like, geez. I mean, I'm amazed X played it, So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But, hey, the Cubs actually beat Pittsburgh today. Yeah, that's a miracle. I don't really want to go in heavy in the sports. Just was wondering if there's any. Let me take a look. Okay, I've got another. Let's do another Where in the USA. All right.
Oh,
let's do one more. Fatima Sunlose Crusade today, tomorrow, and the 18th.
Oh, really?
Wow.
The Last Crusade. That's a good one. Yeah.
I gotta ask Mrs. if we can go see it tomorrow, but she's got to make Snort a Poopa's hat with Andrea Parker though. I guess what's the 18th? The 18th is what? Wednesday. Wow. All right. Might have to. Well, we'll see. I would like to see Last Crusade in the theater though.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because they had that one German march in it. That.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
very famous march and all, and it's like, but then again, you're like, wait, you're not allowed to listen to that. What? Huh? What? Yeah. So, all right. All right. Here we go, folks. We're going to stick with the good old South again. You love them. We go Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. All right. Florida, Georgia. Dopey duo arrested for false 911 reports about evil clowns lurking about. Dopey duo arrested for false 911 reports about evil clowns lurking about. Did this happen in Florida, Georgia, or Alabama?
Funny thing about this, do you remember what was it in somewhere around 2016, 2015? I can't remember. It was quite some years back now, where there was that whole big thing about people dressing up like clowns in the middle of the night and standing on the side of the road scaring people. There was a whole lot of videos on YouTube of that, man. That was creepy. So I actually, if I was a cop receiving that call, I would have bought that. I would have bought that people were doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as where it's at, God, that could be any of these states. I'm gonna go with Georgia on this. I think Georgia.
You think Georgia? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it just feels Georgia to me.
Okay, you think Georgia? Okay, Dave says Florida. No goods were harmed in the making of the story. Legata says Georgia. Jeff says Alabama. Dopey gives it away.
Dopey.
All All right, so I think we got 3 answers right there. You gave yours. So if there's anybody else with an answer, give it, because we'll move on. Wow, we made it over 2 hours, Wes. That's pretty
We
damn
did.
cool. Yeah, we did. You guys in the chat have been great too. All right, so let's go. Okay, we'll do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dopey Georgia duo arrested for false 911 reports about evil clowns lurking about. This goes back to 2016, I believe. Yes.
There it is.
2016. Yep.
There you go.
2 Georgia residents are locked up on charges that they phoned 911 with false reports about evil clowns lurking outside of a van. Investigators dispatched to investigate a report of unknown persons dressed as clowns standing outside a white van. After the van's owner gave deputies permission to search the vehicle, no clowns or costumes were found. During a subsequent interview with deputies, the man who placed the 911 call initially claimed to have seen clowns around a white van parked on Hammett Road. Then he changed his story before admitting he fabricated the whole clown tale. He confessed that he was aware of all the complaints about clowns in schools being on lockdown. This week, local cops reported receiving several calls about clowns in the van and wooded areas trying to talk to children. So police warned that this behavior is not cute or funny and could result in criminal charges. During questioning, gets better. During questioning, he also told deputies that his sister-in-law had also placed funny 911 calls about clown sightings. She was later apprehended. Charged with obstruction and unlawful conduct during a 911 call, the duo was booked in the county jail.
Oh, God.
I've got more stories. I need to sometimes sit down and get some of these stories. There's some other good stories here that are linking out to these other things. It always gets better with the smoking gun. By the way, that reminds me, before Lorena's show tomorrow night, I got to send her a couple things. So, but yeah, that's, I think that's it. Wes, we made it about 2 hours, 15 minutes, on a time we don't normally stream and a night we don't stream, but I appreciate your willingness to jump on and just go live at the spur of the moment.
Yeah, no, that was cool. That was cool. I needed somebody to drag me away from Fortnite.
Yeah, we all have to detox ourselves from Fortnite sometimes. It's an intervention.
Yeah.
All those people help me get you away. Although, damn it, it's too late for me to go buy ice cream now. Dang it.
Yeah. The local one here is a good place. Is probably closed now.
I was going to go to the grocery store. I guess I could go to Walmart. They're open to midnight.
Oh, yeah, you can get a tub of it. I'm talking about. There's a place here, like 2 minutes away that serves nice soft serve custard.
Yeah, I just don't want to end up going to Walmart this time of night.
So. No. That you are violating some of the rules of stupid there. Don't go stupid places at stupid times and do stupid things with stupid people. You're violating some of those rules there.
Exactly. Fortnite Anonymous, Wes Kagle.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, folks, we're going to say goodnight now. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for all the people who came in and out and everything. Thank you for your support. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you to do something. I've been sitting around on my ass too long, and great to have had this. And actually now learning that the Last Crusade is in the theaters. I've got to check that out.
Yeah.
But on that note, everybody.
But before you go,
be walking by sunlight. You're such a high latitude. So, all right. Game over.
Yes. Before you go, how about don't forget give a shout out to the missus there.
Oh yeah, thank you, Wes. Yes, sorry. Yes. Thank you for doing that. Mrs. also, she will be live tomorrow afternoon. Check out her YouTube channel, get notifications, check her on Twitter. We'll be back to the Pretender tomorrow. I think 3 o'clock, I believe is what time it is. So join them, have fun with that show. Of course, Monday morning she's back to her, her Monday morning musings at 10 a.m. and then her normal schedule next week. All right. On that note, folks, everybody, y'all have a great night. And hold on. We got to wait 15 seconds. You know why?
Oh, you got to go to 2.5?
2 hours and 15 minutes exactly.
There you go.
So,
all right.
I mean, I hate cutting under the quarter hour. So, but on that note, everybody have a good night and we will catch you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.